Have you guys seen this?
And death could not hold you. The veil tore before you. You silenced the boast of sin and grave. You have no rival. You have no equal. Now and forever, God, you reign. Yours is the kingdom. Yours is the glory. Yours is the name above all names.
When this first started to circulate on the internet, so many people were sending me this video. It was getting shared to me on Instagram. People on my worship team and even outside of my worship team, just friends were like, have you seen this version of What a Beautiful Name? A super unique take on a very well-known song. This is Gracie Binion talking about that moment.
That video went crazy out of
Did it?
nowhere. And I just that was something we decided to do in sound check. I was like, oh, what if we actually tagged No One Like the Lord with this bridge? But what if we sang it like this? Which the way Legacy handles their sound checks, they kind of plan things out a little more, which was hard for me to adjust to because where I come from, we don't plan a single thing. And so having to prepare was harder for me. But I kind of had to pray my way through understanding okay, Lord, if I can't make decisions on the spot, can you help me? If you want me to go somewhere, help me deposit those ideas in sound checks. So that's kind of what happened there. So we did that, and then I just posted a random clip. Sometimes I'll feel like I just want to post a random clip with no inclination that anything's gonna happen or if people are gonna like it, with not really a care for that much either.
I love this response because it's super honest. I thought this was a spontaneous moment. We often think that. And even though this moment isn't spontaneous, it doesn't make it any less powerful. She also received a lot of criticism and hate comments from this cover.
That bridge being different, I received a lot of hate comments on that video, but it had millions of views. But a lot of people were saying that shouldn't be done in a church setting.
Wow.
And I can't comprehend. People were saying it was performance. People were saying all these whatever different things. And it's funny. It's funny because you know how I feel. We've had conversations about performance in the church, in the industry, and to hear it from that perspective about singing well is performance. It was so weird for me because being growing up in the industry, I've seen performance.
Yeah.
And I've seen authenticity.
Yeah.
And it is the fear of the Lord in me. I don't ever want to veer into performance.
Yeah.
In a worship
that.
setting
You've seen.
I've seen it, and I've seen what it does to people.
Yeah.
So Gracie Binion is an up-and-coming CCM artist. She could have signed with Bethel if she wanted to.
Oh, I met with Jen majorly about Jen Johnson.
Love Jen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then as far as signing with a label and how all of that goes, I met with Jen about this because I want to talk about this scenario that I was in before, but I do have to be careful legally. So I had to get out of a bad situation. And I guess I just won't name any names or anything. I had to get out of a not good situation. And I was asking her for advice on what do I do? Do I see this through for however many years that or they haven't done this and they owe us this and
Right.
All the stuff that was going wrong. And she recommended us a lawyer, and she was like, look, if you want to sign to Bethel, she was like, if you want to work with Bethel, we would love to work with you, but you're not only called to worship. She was like, we're great with worship artists, but you were called to other things as well. She was like, you would probably work really well with Capitol. And so she said that.
I first heard of our parents, David and Nicole Binion, who are pastors and worship leaders and songwriters, and they've been doing this for decades. Gracie's parents, David and Nicole Binion, pretty well known in the Christian music industry. She called herself a Nepo baby in one of these videos, but whether your parents are in it or not, you gotta have the talent to back it up, and she definitely has a talent.
Well, you started your musical career at 15, which is pretty young to get into the industry. How did that happen?
So I'm a Nepo baby. I'm a nepotism baby. I started songwriting at a very young age. My dad's a songwriter, a piano player, and a singer. My mom's a phenomenal singer. They traveled in ministry, leading worship their entire marriage, my dad even before that. So it was always just a part of our life and a part of our family, and there was never a doubt in my mind. Like, since I was 3, I wanted to be a singer.
At the age of 15, her parents were previously signed with Integrity Music, and she signed a development deal with Integrity Music. She used to go by the artist name Madison, was like a Christian pop kind of artist vibe.
Madison Grace Binion, the daughter of David and Nicole Binion, very well known worship leaders. And
what is your overall goal for your musical career? Like, where do you see yourself in like 10 years?
Oh, 10 years.
Yeah, that's like,
That's a lot of time. A
That
lot
is
can
a lot of
happen in
time.
10 years.
exactly. Giving you space.
I mean,
What would you want? Not like where.
what would I want?
Yes. What would you want?
Well,
Not
like
what-
not what I could see possibly happening,
Yes,
or
what
what
would you
God
want?
wants for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I don't know. I'd like to like go on. But 10 years is a long time, so I can say this. Like go on tours, like tours. Like my parents. No shade. My parents
She's
like
lost my
tour.
temper.
Like they tour, but they like every weekend will go out. But I love to like go on like a legit
Like around the world, or
Yeah.
like around the U.S. or
Yeah,
around the world?
I would love to like tour.
You want to win
Would
any
be
awards? Have any accolades?
If I deserve it. If my album deserves it,
I like that.
you know?
That's honest.
Do you think it will?
Like other people will have other opinions.
Nor do you want to be narcissistic about it either.
Yeah,
If
but
it
I'm saying,
happens,
like-
it's great. And if
Yeah,
it's not, it's
no, that's exactly what I'm saying.
It's all
Because
to
like,
him,
if I like
right?
it, all for him. If I like it, I could be like, oh, this is so good. Like, I would give myself an award, but I can't be like, everyone like needs to give me an award for
Everybody
this
needs
album.
to like this for
You know?
your ears.
Like, yeah.
I want to congratulate you on your nomination for Worship Song of the Year for Goodbye Yesterday with our friends Elevation Rhythm.
We wrote that song. It came out of like just conversation about the Lord, and it was super easy. It just flowed out, and
Wow.
we did not expect it to be
Wow.
what it is today. So yeah.
And how does it feel to now see that song taking off and having so much momentum?
It's so special. It's kind of funny too, because like you don't really feel any different when something like that happens. I mean, unless you let yourself feel different, I don't know. But it's so funny because it's all behind a screen
Yeah,
until
sure.
you're in a church in another state or another country and everyone's singing the song, and it's really cool to hear people agreeing with that message.
That's
you
so
know?
great.
Yeah.
And we're excited because it sounds like just recently signed with Bethel Recordings.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about what that opportunity looks like and how
Yes.
excited you are for this next chapter.
So I have been, like you said, writing and recording music since I was 9. I signed my first deal when I was 15 with Integrity Music. I love Integrity. I've signed a couple different deals, and it's taken a while to find the right fit and also become who I am today.
Absolutely.
And find who I am in the Lord.
Absolutely.
And BEC is honestly just the perfect home, and they're giving a lot of like creative liberty, which I'm so excited about. I'm all about pushing creative boundaries
Absolutely.
and being creative with the Lord, because I believe that we were created to create, and I'm
I
so
love that.
excited about what that looks like this year.
I think it's interesting because just doing some research on this, she's bounced around from a few different labels already. And here's her kind of talking about it.
And now you're an independent artist, so what changed for you?
I kind of developed this this disdain for the idea of selling worship. And I started kind of reevaluating what I do and why I do it. And to elaborate on selling worship, to me, it felt in my heart, I know worship leaders who make a living off of leading worship, and they do it so purely, and they're doing what the Lord's asked them to do. For some reason in my heart, it felt wrong to be making a profit off of something that was supposed to be a sacrifice at this time. And that's still something that I feel like I wrestle with and I think about daily as to how can I approach this and do this the right way, in the pure way. The ability to create something, create a sacrifice for the Lord and be able to just release it for free. But then I also kind of reevaluated what worship is to me. And I went through a ministry school program out here in Tennessee and kind of just reevaluated my relationship with the Lord and how my entire life is worship.
Gracie went to Nashville School of Ministry, which seemed to be a big turning point in her life.
So I come to this school, And I'm going through all of this, like all these like freedom processes or whatever. Maybe like a month later, Asbury happened. Asbury, the revival. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with my now husband,
Yeah.
we were friends at the time. We were at a Super Bowl party and we were both like, what if we just like drove
Down to
Asbury? It had been going on for 2 days at that point. And his parents got married during Brownsville revival.
Interesting.
So we're both kind of like, that's where our hearts are
Yeah,
at.
revival kids.
Yeah. So we were like, yeah, let's go. Let's see what it's about. So we went and we were both kind of like, we were kind of disappointed a little.
Wow.
Yeah. It's interesting because we've both experienced high, like really, really deep points in the presence of God. And this was a movement that started in like a Methodist environment. So it was very different than what we're used to.
Okay.
And so we were like, we got there, we left that Super Bowl party, went straight there, got there at 10:30 p.m. with a couple other friends from our ministry school.
Yeah.
We stayed till 3 a.m. and we prayed over the walls and we're like, what are we here for? If not, maybe we're supposed to impart some, like, you know, pray or whatever, you know, thinking whatever we're thinking.
Right.
We left with, we didn't understand what was going to happen when we got back, but we drive back, we leave at 3 a.m, drive 2 or 3 hours, whatever the drive was, straight to our school. We were like, we had a prayer room at 7 a.m. We were like, let's just start an hour early and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because we left kind of passionate because we knew there was more than that. We were like, that's what they're calling a revival. Let's, you know, dig deeper. So we get there and one of my friends read, I think it's Psalm 51, the repentance prayer.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I see that? And I read it maybe 5 times. And every time I read it, the weight in the room just got heavier and heavier and heavier. There's 5 of us in the room, maybe 5 or 6 of us. And I have never in my life, up until that point, encountered the presence of God the way that I did that morning. And so we realized what we received when we went there was an impartation of hunger. So
And that was kind of a turning for you.
Yes.
Because things started changing in your life, even I think with the way that you write.
Yeah. The only thing that ever changed anything for me was encounters with the Lord. And not like, I say that to say the point of everything shifted for me.
Yeah.
When I had an earth-shattering encounter with the Lord.
I love that Gracie comes from more of a prophetic and charismatic stream of worship and yet has a ton of favor in a very evangelical CCM industry. I really think Gracie is going to be a significant voice in our generation. I think she's super anointed and she's part of this next wave of Gen Z songwriters who aren't following the CCM writing style status quo, but she's not a performer. She really is a worship leader first, and you can see that coming out as she sings.
Just got married.
Yes.
And you're what, 22?
24.
24! Oh man.
My husband's 22.
Okay. Yeah, I knew your husband was a little younger than
Yeah.
you. He kind of looks like he's 13.
I know.